Hello everyone, my name is Jeffrey. Welcome back for another episode of Satisfactory. It's finally time to overhaul our steel production. I've been starting on some projects and we're starting to run out mainly of encased industrial beams. I mean, our pipe and our steel beam production is kind of fine. But going forward, we're definitely going to need a lot more of everything because everything's going to get a whole lot bigger. And I'm also going to start off the day with unlocking this control system development that I need for... I think that's the blenders, because we're going to need many blenders for my turbo fuel project that's coming up pretty soon. As we're not out of power just yet, we still got a little bit to go before we need to get started on the project. But we got plenty banked away in some batteries as well, just in case we ever were to actually go over our production. Thanks again to our supporters on Patreon and our YouTube members here on our little wall of legends here. If you want to get your name up on here, feel free to head on over to the Patreon or become a YouTube member. Help support the channel, really appreciate it. But today, like I said, all about our steel production overhaul. We are going to start off our day with a little smelter blueprint because we need, or I realized I have absolutely no smelter blueprints to actually use. So we're going to put together, I think we'll do it as a 2 and then a 3. And then I think because I've really been enjoying having things kind of up, like off the floor. I just hit my microphone. I'm probably gonna do that here with these blueprints as well, and then maybe I'll make just normal ones in the future, but for this one I'm going to do it keep things off the floor. It makes it easy to move around, gives you more open floor space in the factory. So like I said, we're going to start with a 2. Let's get our production here. Smelter, we're going to go 2, so I'm going to go 1 here. I don't know why I always build in the middle. You really don't have to. You can literally do them wherever you want in the blueprint, and then it goes together in the end anyway. So, got those not in the center. I want those more centered, actually. I guess this part doesn't really matter either, but just in case. Then we're going to grab some splitters to put these together. Splitters, not mergers. I don't need them to be like super tight, but... Actually, wait. Sorry. No, I'm going to do these. I'm going to be feeding these from above. So I need to figure out where these need to go for these lifts. I think it's about right. I think that one would be too far. So let's go this one. Grab a lift. Let's make it Mark 5 because we have so many. Yeah, so we actually need to go back one more. So it'll be right here. There we go. So now we're going to get rid of those. Put the second one on here. Okay, so that is our input system all set up. Oh, there's actually... Wait, why are these not clipped in? Did I put these in wrong? There we go. Gotta fix. I don't know why they weren't like clipping in properly before. So I just had to move them to line up with the actual line right in the middle there. So now our input line is fed. So we'll let those be set up. And then we're going to do the same thing with the mergers on the back. We're going to push them out a little bit. I think they need to be about right there. It'll be just offset from the middle. I'm going to give them one more because I'm probably going to be a little tight for space there. Stack our mergers there. Grab our lifts. Okay, I'm glad I actually moved it out because that was the right amount of space. Here are these 2 on the bottom. Connect these 2 together. There we go. We have our 2 smelter blueprint, and then I'm just kind of a little power line above it here. So grab my, this is how I do my power lines. We grab our painted beam here. Bring it up about 8 meters, should be fine without clipping through anything. We'll just drag it across the top here. That should line right up with each other. Might clip through each other a little bit, and then we'll go our power lines. Go right onto there. Power line on top. Carbon steel finish. I really like the way the carbon steel looks on all the machinery, so that's kind of what I've been going with this time. There we go. So that is going to be our 2, whatever I call it. Our two refiner, I got my brain today. There are 2 smelters. That's fine. So So 2 smelters, and then I'm just going to make one that has a third one on it so that I don't have to ever I can just break them all down easier, whether it's an even number or an odd number. And then we can head on over to our steel factory and we can get started with the build. There you go, easy enough. We got a third one. It's literally just adding the same thing onto the end. And I extended out this piece just a little bit just to make sure that when I plop them down, they should actually connect together and I shouldn't have to go through and actually add the pieces in. I'm just trying to be mindful of that when I'm going forward now because I've been having to go and fill in like little tiny gaps when I'm putting my blueprints together. And it's kind of annoying, so I don't want to have to do that anymore. So now we got that easily finished off. We're going to go ahead and load up our control system development here just to get it sent off and ready to go. So what do I need? I need some aluminum casings and sheets. Probably down at the bottom here. I wish it would sort alphabetical instead of, or I wish you could like set it to sort alphabetical instead of just whatever I'm assuming got put in last. So let me grab, I think it was 200 of these, 400 of these, and then 200 computers. There we go, finally. Get this thing out of here. Alright.
Milestone reached.
Make blenders now, let's go.
More efficient and powerful than the human brain can now be made to compensate for many deficiencies otherwise encountered in future development efforts.
Alright.
The blender enables you to mix and/or combine parts and fluids for more complex recipes. Most importantly, project part number 6, the assembly director system, should be produced and delivered to the space elevator as soon as possible.
Yeah, I think that one takes the longest, so... I mean, the only problem is I can't really get started on a lot of the space part projects until we have more power. And if we're doing more power, I'm just going into turbo fuel mode. And then pretty soon from there, we're going to be hitting up rocket fuel, which actually I think... Check in here. I think it's in the unlocked in the MAM here. Under... Which one is it? Sulfur? No, but that's where you get... oh, this is where you get rocket fuel. Okay, so I need empty canisters... turbo fuel and a hard drive. So eventually we're going to be taking the turbo, and I mean quite possibly we might just skip over turbo fuel and go straight to rocket fuel, and then we'll be packaging some rocket fuel for usage basically in the jetpack and stuff, and then much of the rocket fuel will be sent off to do power generation, and we're talking like over 100,000 megawatts at this point. So we'll get that unlocked here pretty shortly. And I don't know if I'm going to worry about the ionized fuel. I think that's maybe a later down the line project. But I do want to at least get this one started so that we can, have some super cool jetpack fuel. And also we'll have more power. Pretty much, I don't know if it'll be enough power to get us through the end of the game. It probably will. And if not, it'll be pretty close. And then I think once I eventually finish this playthrough, I'm going to try doing something I've never done before, where maybe I'll just do like a one factory makes everything, just one big super factory. I know a lot of people have done it before, but I've never tried it myself, so I'd kind of like to try it at some point. Probably a different biome, though. I don't think the green fields is the best place to do it. Anyway, let's head on over to our steel factory here, and we'll get started on our overhaul. Okay, so I believe I mentioned last time that we were going to be starting the, I forgot to put it on the to-do list. So the first thing we actually have to do before we actually worry about our steel production, I did go ahead and just throw, I took everything that was like in the storage. I just set them over there for now. So that's our beams, pipes, and encased beams. But the first thing we got to do today is we got to take the coal that's coming off of here and take the coal production out of here, or the steel production out, and we're going to turn it into some iron pipes. And that's going to be taking 14 smelters, and then it feeds into 4 constructors upstairs, which I think is 5 right now, so we'll be able to dumb that down a little bit. And then we're going to take these smelters out, and this foundry setup right here. Thankfully I have enough room here, so we'll probably just do 2 lines of 7, so we'll do like 7 there, 7 there. And then we're going to feed that iron up into the pipes up here, and that is going to turn our motor factory into, well, it's an iron and concrete motor factory, I think. right? No, it's just iron and copper. Oh yeah, because I'm not doing iron wire. I mean, I don't think there's enough iron over here to do the iron wire, so it's just iron and copper being used in these motor build over here, and then everything else, all this coal is going to get separated off for now into our little steel production down here. So I think I went ahead and I put a little power switch on here somewhere where we are going to go ahead and turn the motor factory off just temporarily. Once we get the iron pipes set up, we can turn it back on. But I do have, I mean, not that I'm worried about it, but I have like plenty kind of stored away anyway. I think they're all just going into the sink right now. So we're going to turn this one off. Come down to the power switch here. There we go. Okay, so that cuts off all power to the steel factory here. So that's now cut off. Everything else, like everything here is cut off. So that'll allow me to mess around with it without breaking everything too much. Also, whoa, I don't have any power over here. Oh, right. Guess I turned the power off for this factory. So the assemblers are here. They're not actually, like, these aren't even the ones I'm going to use. I'm going to use my blueprints. But for this steel overhaul factory we're doing, these are going to be the ones, these are going to be the ones that make the encased industrial beams. And I was trying to figure out like what I was going to do with this sort of raised up area. And it turns out you can perfectly fit these 7 assemblers that I'm going to, I think that's, no, 5 assemblers I'm going to need for the encased industrial beams. So I just put them down as placeholders for now, and we're going to take them out and put in something else later. So to get this started, we can take off this whole steel thing from down here. Get rid of this bad boy, and then we'll head upstairs to where those smelters and foundries are. And then we'll start tearing that apart too. Alright, I brought in a temporary power line, so I actually used my hover pack here. Because I was like, man, I'm going to have to walk around all this whole thing. So yeah, like I said, we're going to tear this whole thing down. And then we're going to replace it with some iron smelters. So I'm just going to go ahead and do a little right-click delete on everything here. And then we'll jump into the smelter process. Alright, there we go. No more steel foundry setup. So now we're going pure iron wire. So like I said, we need 14 smelters. So we're going to go to our blueprint section here. I think I'm in the foundry part for now. I think I'm going to change this to foundries and smelters because I feel like not really going to do too many foundry blueprints. So I could probably just kind of put these in together. Same with the smelters. I mean, kind of long term, I tend to do more refineries than anything else. So I wanted to make sure they had their own section. So 14, we can do groups. What do you want to do? Groups of 7? Let's do groups of 7. I just realized that groups of 7 means we're gonna have to add 1 in on the very end. Oh no, that's okay. So let's go ahead and figure out where we want to place these bad boys, keeping everything lifted up now. So we're gonna go. We could maybe even go like right here. Bring it back a little bit and line it up with there. Because we can turn that. That's going to be our 400 iron ore input. So we're going to grab that one there. And you could use less iron for this one if you had a water source, but unfortunately there are no water sources nearby here. Why does this not want to clip together? Why don't you go next to your friend here? Alright, well, it's being weird, so we'll just figure that part out later. But it looks like we can kind of stick this part in here. Make sure this is actually lined up properly. Huh, I wonder why trying to place those next to each other is so weird. But anyway, so we got 6 there, and then we'll put the 7th on the back. And we'll just add our little extra bit on the end here. I was like, well, I'm in blueprint mode. So we'll grab that. Put that in there. The belt in between. So we'll take this out of here. Drag it up so it matches. Bring that across, and there you go. So that'll feed the iron down. Oh, no, it won't, because I forgot this part right here. So we'll add in the rest of the stuff we need to do here, and then we'll add in the other line of 7. I think we can kind of move this power pole here. So I can have space to put in the other 7 here. We got our blueprints again, 3 smelters, Make sure I have space here. Oh, right. That's why I was like, wait a minute, this is wrong. Because this needs to be split. So this is going to come up and then hit a splitter. So we'll worry about that in a second. So let's grab these. I don't think I need too much space like in between them. Because I can kind of just walk underneath, right? So we'll go... And like, that's too close. That's like literally right on top of each other. Let's go like, that's too much space. Yeah, we got space to use. Let's just use it. Alright, that was pretty easy. I left it all uncolored for now, so you can kind of see just the things I added on the very end. So we got our set of 3 blueprints there. And then I've got the one added on the very end, even for the power. And then we're going to come here, this spot right here. And I need to feed what's going to come out from here. So we have a little lift. I'm going to put it into a splitter. Comes out like right here. We'll say the splitter needs to go like this. Disconnect that once. There we go. Okay, so we'll put one in here. That'll be for this line here. And the other one can go to this one. There we go. Let's put add in some supports here just so it looks a little bit more natural. And that keeps everything up, raised up. I'll probably put some of those supports in through the middle here as well, so it's not just kind of free open space. So there we go. Now we can go to the back here. There's the lift. Okay, so this is going to be the lift up. Grab this. It's going to have to come over, obviously. Then we're going to grab a merger. Put it right here. Bring it up. Delete the 2 off the bottom. Can I? No? Why not? There we go. I was like, why you gotta be rude? Get that connected in there. Take this up to the ceiling. This may have to move. I know how I can fix that. Place it like that. And there we go. Nice and clean. Okay, perfect. So that'll be set to do... I need to downclock these, I think, by a little bit. Because I need these to do 400. And if I leave them as they are, they're going to do... I think these would be 210 each. So let's just take 10 off the end here. So let's go like 20. Copy that one. Same with that one. And then these ones can all just be set to normal. Okay, so that is the smelter portion of the iron pipes finished. I mean, not fully finished, like we'd have to finish doing some hookups and everything. But we can go up to this floor here. This is going to be the input of all the steel. So we're going to change this to iron pipe. I'm going to copy this, put on all these, and then I think what I'll do is I'll just set this to 20. And then that way I don't have to worry about taking out one of these. I just have to worry about taking out the belts. Because the belts are covered in steel. Okay, so I'm not worried about the output because the output is still pipes. So that part's fine. But that means I can come down here. Or actually, also that means I think I need to upgrade. I think this is a Mark III lift. Yeah, this needs to go to at least a Mark IV. I'm just going to make it a Mark V. Make sure the other one is down here too. It's already Mark V. That's Mark V. That's Mark V. Okay. Because this is overkill, but it's going to be moving 400 at this point. So it's going to need to be a little bit higher than the Mark III. So now that is ready to go. I think we can more or less turn this on. I just got to figure out how I'm going to connect these all together. Let's grab a piece up here. Bag some over here for this part. I'll actually connect this in because this is not new. This is old. And then we'll connect these together via ceiling. That was kind of a messy one, but that's okay. Okay, so we'll hook you up into here. That's fine. And then I think... Is it this one? This is like one of the main ones. Hook you up into there. And then where did I actually cut this all off from? Oh wait, no, I just turned off the power switch. I remember now. Okay, so that should be right. So I can take off this one. And then let's go downstairs and flick the power switch back on. If I have to, I can always figure out how to just feed in some extra pipes if it like kind of messes itself up, but it'll definitely balance itself back out. So that should... Sorry, that should have things up and running again. Let's go back up there and take a quick little peek. I see iron ingots flying, that's good. Everybody was connected. Nobody's getting backed up because I didn't connect a belt somewhere. That has happened many times. Always got to check. This is... I don't know what happened here, but... There we go. Okay, so that's filling up now. I have a bunch of iron ingots, so you guys can just have those. I don't see why not. That way I shouldn't lose the pipe output too much. Still getting 100 pipes, excellent. Okay, so that'll be fine. That is the overhaul to the motor facility complete. Okay, so that's good. That was the main thing I needed to get done, so that one could still keep running while we do everything else. So, moving on to the rest of the steel factory now. This is where the real fun begins. We got 540 coal, 540 iron ingots, coming into 18 smelters, 14 foundries, and then we're going to fit all that in with everything else. It's going to be great. I think actually just to get it all done and out of the way, I'm just going to, I know I have ingot production on the list first, but I'm actually going to do concrete just because it kind of gets it done and out of the way. We need 7 constructors doing concrete. That's pretty straightforward. We're going to go to our blueprints, go into our constructors, figure out what we want to use. We can use 7. That means we got to use, I guess we could use 5. I always use the 8, and then, whoa, that's, never mind, that's the double floor one. So I guess we'll do the 5, and then we'll just add a couple on. Okay, I'm going to pop it in there, even though my concrete's kind of coming in at this angle. We'll just end up wrapping back around. So I'm going to grab the other 2 here. I'll maybe double stack this. Actually, no, that still is just enough room to get by there. That's okay. Just kind of watch out for the arm as it's swinging towards you there. Alright, changed my mind because I didn't like the way it looked. It was getting too close there, and then I tried to double stack it, and it was just clipping through the ceiling here. So actually, I changed my mind. I'm going to go with 10, and then I'm just going to downclock the ever-loving crap out of them. So, because I kind of like the way this fits in, this little space here. It's like really evenly split. And then when I'm done, I can just take the output here, right here, lift it up, put it along the ceiling, and take it wherever it needs to go, which funnily enough, it needs to go right here. So that'll be really nice to kind of just put it up and over. And then, so what I'll have to do now is we'll grab a merger right here. Actually, wait, no, because I need a splitter. I have to grab a splitter here. And then we grab the merger. That's going to go, excuse me, sir. You could, can you kindly vacate the premises? I need you to move, please. There you go. Problem solving with Chefry. So now the limestone is going to come into here. Those are going to be set to do concrete. I need a total of 100 concrete. So that means each one only has to make 10 per minute. Do this, like this, copy the settings, and paste it on everybody. Alright, let the concrete production begin. I'm not going to worry about setting up now because, like I said, those are not the assemblers we're going to be using. Those are just going to kind of sit there and wait until we're actually ready to go. So, concrete off the to-do list, done. Nice and easy one. Ingot production, here I come. So this is where it's going to get a little messy. I'm going to be doing 18 smelters. I may double stack them probably since I have so much headspace here. And I want to kind of conserve some of my room that I'm using. Which means I think I'm going to do 2 groups of 9 stacked on top of each other. So let me grab my blueprints here. We'll grab our, where is it? That's what confuses me now. Grab our 3, and then we'll start from, where are we going to start from? Maybe like right here. Yeah, it's fine. I'll start from here. And then I'll do my group of 3, or my group of 9 here. There we go. And then I'm going to grab a 1 meter floor. Actually, I'm going to bring it up first. Okay, sorry to skip ahead a little bit, but the game crashed and I lost about a half an hour worth of work. So I just went ahead and just kind of put my head down and speed ran, put it all back together, all the stuff I lost. I basically had to start back at doing those iron pipes again. So we have our 2 floors. I'm pretty sure this is where the game crashed. We have our 2 floors of iron smelters here making iron ingots. We got 18 in total. Everything is all clocked to 100%. No need to underclock anything here. I've got everything hooked up to its actual iron inputs. So those are running. I mean, they're going to get backed up here any second. Then we got our concrete over here, as I showed you before. So those are all running. And now we are ready to do our foundries. So we're going to be taking this coal from right here, which is going to be 540 per minute, which means I guess I'll take this one off for now. I don't know where it's actually going to go for sure. But we need to do 14 foundries. So I think I'm going to do similar to what I did here. I'm going to do it as a second floor. So what I'll do is I'll just kind of bring this out a little bit more. And then I might split them up to keep them as like separate platforms if I want to, but at least for now we'll get these in. And then we'll start from down below here. We'll grab our blueprints, we'll grab our foundries, so we need 14 total. So I'm going to do 2 groups of 7, which means again I'll have to add 1 onto the very end, but that's okay. Make sure these are facing the right way. Make sure I got it kind of working from above the or below the floor here. So I want to put them right, probably about right here-ish. I'm going to hold it with H just so I know where it's going to go exactly. There we go. It actually fits right in between these pillars, which is actually kind of perfect. So I'm going to go nudge that one right there. Actually, no, I think I'll leave it where it was. So go 1. Hopefully this game doesn't crash anymore on me because that is very frustrating when it does. Okay, I may have to move. So that's 4. I still need to go another 2 in here, so I may have to move this belt, but that's okay. I can kind of adjust where this is actually going. I'll always send it up higher if I needed to as well. Okay, there we go. We got our 7 in down below. I just moved the belt over a little bit, and it actually kind of fits in perfectly. Kind of lines up just like that. If you wanted to really get it out of the way, you could just kind of raise it up and send it along the ceiling. We do have some extra space. I don't know what those are. What did I accidentally color up top here? I think I may have accidentally colored some flooring when I was trying to do something. Anyway, we'll worry about that later. So I'm going to adjust this floor over a little bit more so we can fit the other foundries on top. We'll bring that over just like that. Come on, work with me here. There we go. And then our foundry blueprint once again coming in clutch. And blueprints just make such a wild difference in making everything come together. So we're going to pop this one in. Try and make sure it's in the same spot as the one down below. I think it needs to go in a little bit more. Yeah, it looks like the splitters sit right on top of the center foundation here. So we're going to go doop, right there. And then I think that's maybe That's about where it is down below. So we'll make sure these line up properly as well. There we go. I just got to connect our belts up going through here. And that's 14 smelters, all for solid steel ingot foundries. Now, I need these, what is it, 13 and a half, so I'm going to have to downclock these a little bit. And then I'm also going to have to split them up in kind of a weird way, because the total output from here would be 480 plus 330, which would be more than I can move. 480 plus 330. That's 810. Now, I can't move 810 on one conveyor belt, so we're going to split this off, and one group is going to do 480, and another group is going to do 330. Alright, because I am both smart and handsome, I've figured it out, and it's super, super easy. So, I just took all the 7 on the bottom, since that makes 420, and we took 1 from the top, makes another 60. That'll be our 480 line from down below. And then, you come to these remaining 6 foundries right here, and you set them to 55 per minute, which just takes 5 off of each one, and that is going to be our line of 330. So that 330 is going to go into doing some steel pipe, and then the bottom one is going to be going into doing steel beams. And the reason that I didn't just kind of make this all out of iron, like you just more or less, I mean, you can't make the steel beams out of iron, but you can make a lot of you can make iron pipes. Just not enough iron in the area without like kind of shipping in a bunch of extra. So I kind of just like the way this one worked, and committing this one essentially for the rest of the game, or this coal deposit for the rest of the game, committing it to steel production, which should totally be fine. All right, constructor time. Oh, also I should mention about that deposit, whether that is a pure coal deposit, I'm sure you guys may have known by now, which means when I can put a Mark III miner on there and the Endgame belt in tier 9, I can always just ship. I think I would basically get another 600 out of this, 600 coal out of this deposit. So should we need that in the future, which we may, we can always just drill it up and put like a train station or something, or some trucks, and just ship it kind of wherever we need it to go. Anyway, for now, that means we have everything kind of set up, ready to go. So like I said, this bottom section is going to be where we're going to be doing our steel beams. So I need to set up 8 constructors. Nobody's going to be underclocked or overclocked. Do I have an 8 constructor blueprint? I'm not sure if I do. I do. How about that? It's double floored, and I think maybe I'll just take off some of the flooring from behind. I think I'll have to kind of nudge this into position. Okay, I was going to do it, but I think that wastes just too much space, because we still have another 11 constructors for the steel pipe to get on top of all this. I mean, we could probably squeeze some of the steel pipe constructors in here, because I can move this part, and I could probably squeeze some of them in here. But, I mean, either way, I have to fit 8 constructors right here, so let's kind of figure out how we're going to do this. So we got a 5 constructor manifold. That's not really going to work either, because we'd have to fit another 3 on the back end, which I don't really have room for going off the back side. And I suppose I could always add like just another little bit of a ledge. So I think what I'll do to make utilize the most amount of my space, similar to what I did with the concrete over there, is I'll actually use my 10 constructor manifold system. Well, let's flop it around so it's actually facing the right way. Because it's going to get fed from from that merger right there. It can split into these 2 splitters. That should maximize my space usage here. That should be able to fit in just like that. And then above it, I mean, I know it's not crazy tight, but it's good use of space. And then above that, I can actually have the floor for the 11 constructors, because basically I need to be able to put that down again with an extra constructor on top. But I think maybe what I'll do is, because I have 1 set of constructors for steel pipes, that's actually for my crafting. It's making 100 pipes. I think what I'll do is I'll maybe just break it up into 2 groups. I'll do 1 group that makes 100 pipes and 1 group that makes 120. I'm pretty sure that means there's going to be a 5 group and a 6 group, and then that'll be it. So for this one, we just need a splitter, or a splitter put in here, connected to that merger. I'm not going to worry about lifting this stuff up, because I'll probably put in like some walkways or something over here. Make sure this is actually connected properly. There we go. And then that means from down here, this is where my steel beams are going to come out of. And these are sheerly just for my crafting purposes. So these can kind of go, I'll put a floor. Actually, I suppose I could maybe just put them in here somewhere. And then, because it's more or less just going to go into a dimensional depot, but I think I'll probably make it so the storages are more towards the front of the building. So if I ever do have to come load up on stuff, it's a lot easier to get. I don't want to have to run all the way through the factory just to get the beams. Actually, you know what? Since the dimensional depot can hold 1,000 steel beams at a time, I'll just do it like this. So it comes out, merger here. This is a smart splitter. So it's going to flow into a big storage container here, which is also going to fill my dimensional depot. And then I'm also potentially going to run a line to the other side of the factory, and that'll be a more easily accessible crate that I can get to, that I'm going to walk through the whole place. And then this, when this gets all backed up and everything, this is going to feed into a line which is going to connect to the rest of these. Eventually, we'll just throw everything into like the overflow into a smart splitter. I think in total you only have 240 items, so you can kind of just put it all into one belt eventually and just throw it into one sink to conserve power. So that is the steel. I've kind of just not been filling out the to-do list as we've been going here. So let's go ahead and do, we got ingot production is complete. We got concrete is complete. And we have beams, but not pipes. So let's go ahead and now we'll put in our pipe section. So I'm going to grab our 1 meter foundation here. Just expand this floor out. Bring it out like this. Yay far. There you go. Okay, a decent amount of space here that we can go with. So we'll do a 5, like I said, I'll do a 5 and a 6. So I think I'll do the 6 on the back side here that has the more space. Let's go, especially since I believe it gets fed from this section anyway. So we're going to go to our blueprints. We're going to grab our 3 constructors. There we go, my bad. 3 constructors. And then this is one of the blueprints I need to change. As you can see, there's one of those little gaps I need to fill in, which is unfortunate, which is kind of annoying to have to do. I think what all I have to do is go into the blueprint and just shift, like add a little bit section on, like basically that big, and then they'll be able to clip together. So that is our 6. That is going to be doing our steel pipes all by themselves. And that allows me to go and do now the 3 constructors here. Actually, I think I'll spin them around. Make sure this is lined up. I believe it is. Alright, realized partway through it would make more sense if it was facing the other way. So that this can actually just be set up a little bit easier now. I'm just going to have to change the direction of this splitter. This one's fine. I'll grab a splitter here. So it would make more sense to put it in here. Not this way. No, probably not. I'll put it right here. It's a little close. I think you can actually go right here without it be causing any issues. Even the machine can still work, and it shouldn't cause too many problems. So I'm going to grab a splitter here, turn it around. Now we're going to find out if this is going to be ugly or not. Okay, it's fine. There we go. So that'll feed the pipe system. These 5 are going to be for me. Then these 6 are going to go to the Encased Industrial Beams. Or Encased Industrial Pipe, I suppose it's called. But the Encased Industrial Beams is what we're making. So that is technically pipes and beams done. That's actually connected. Nothing's connected to power yet. But that's okay. Nothing has to be underclocked or overclocked here. Same with the steel beams down below. Everything's kind of... Oh, wait, no, because I did a 10. I'm going to have to downclock these for sure. So I need 120... Let's go steel beams. You get 15, right? So that's 150. So I need to take off 30. So let's take let's say... Okay, so now that we've got everything kind of all set up and in position, that is pipes and beams off our to-do list. Well, I haven't set up a storage for the pipes yet, similar to how I'm going to do for this, or similar to how I did for this one. So since those are all coming out of there, I can basically just stick another one right here and do the exact same thing I just did. We'll just have to bring it actually down. So let me grab a lift here. There we go. So same deal as before. We're just going to throw this in here. I'll probably throw a smart splitter on here somewhere, and then we'll be able to siphon any excess over that we have. Or I can always just put one you know, somewhere in here, we'll just put a smart splitter to take the excess out, so that this whole system doesn't get backed up again. And then now we can go ahead and hook up I think we got pretty much everything hooked up here, except for, so here's the ingots, and these ingots need to be hooked up to this foundry line here. So we're gonna have to put a floor hole in here. We're gonna put a couple floor holes in here actually. Put one in for the coal and one in for the steel ingots. Alright, there we go. Coal's coming in. Iron ingots are flowing in. And I didn't set the iron ingots up properly because I didn't put the splitter on like I was supposed to. Same with the coal. I was like, hey, you guys can all just go to one line for now. Actually, no, I'll let that finish. Oops. Let me go ahead and put a splitter on the coal here. It's going to feed into there. And then a splitter also has to be added on. Sorry, my voice is giving out there. Splitter also has to be added on here, so that these will feed the other line as well. Whoopsie. Alright, problem solved. Got the splitter in there, splitter over there, so now they are actually feeding both sides instead of just the one. A little goofball mistake by me. Typical chef rebuild. Can't have a build without making at least one or two mistakes in here. So we have our steel production finally up and rolling. Everything seems to kind of be balancing itself out slowly. This is not connected to power, so that's why you got nothing coming out of here. We'll get this hooked up really quick. There we go. And then that should all be pumping out enough steel to do our pipes and our beams down below. So now, hopefully, things should be working properly. We can move on to our encased industrial beams, which is coming out over here. Have a nice little open space here in the middle I could have made use of, but it's okay. So we're going to get rid of these assemblers here, because I don't actually need them. I'm going to get rid of everyone but that first one, just so I know where I'm actually putting these in. And then we're going to go to our... We need 5, like I said, I need 5 assemblers. So we're going to grab our blueprints. We're going to grab our assemblers, our 2 assembler blueprint. I'm going to slide this into position. Hopefully it'll line up properly. We're going to make it go... Actually, you know what? I think we should maybe do it in the other direction. Get this little front section added on and we'll be good to go. Okay, so that's 3. And then our last 2. Just pop in here. Let me save really quick before it freezes on me again. There we go. Excellent. Getting scared now. Not even doing that big of a crazy build, and it's like, actually, I struggle a little bit. I gotta fix my assembler blueprint too. Shucks. That was funny, I saved and then it's like, oh, I'm also gonna autosave for you. Double save. You never know. Okay, so we now have our encased industrial beams, our encased industrial pipe technically. Getting 4 per minute, so that's gonna give us our 20. I think I told you guys the numbers in the beginning of the build. We got 120 steel beams, 100 steel pipe, and 20 encased industrial beams. That should be plenty for all our crafting stuff going forward. Well, that's fine too. So the assemblers, like the blueprint doesn't sit perfectly next to each other. I may have to adjust kind of where they're sitting in the blueprint machine so they actually snug up next to each other when you put them together. So now we just need to grab, as you can see, we will need the concrete and the steel pipe. So we're going to grab the concrete from over here. It's going to come up right through here. I may have to move that beam. No, it's actually good where it is. Okay, good. Cool, cool. So we'll grab that, grab a lift here, up to the ceiling, drag that over there. Boom. Concrete done. Now, the only more complicated one is I got to bring those steel pipes from all the way over here. It's the line of 6, which is these ones right here. Where are they going? They're going this way? Alright, cool. So I need to get you from here to over there. Cool. That worked out kind of well. So basically, because of the specs I ended up building with, I kind of had to stack this a little bit high. I think what I'll end up doing is I'll add like a ceiling, and then we'll just like suspend this from the ceiling instead of having it like monstrously stacked up in the sky. But essentially the reason I did this was it remained flat literally all the way even down this like little ramp here. stayed flat all the way to the lift here. Feeds in just like that, and it keeps it nice and clean for me. So these aren't hooked up to power yet, that's why nothing's really happening here. But that is more or less, I mean, the encased industrial beams were definitely the easiest part of this build. I think it actually looks kind of cool having them sort of tucked away off to this little section here. So let's get these all powered up and running. Let's kind of set this up to the ceiling. Then we'll just hook it up through there. And then I don't think I've actually set anybody yet, so we'll go ahead and paste our settings onto everybody. These are probably not connected as per usual. There we go. And then for this one, I have to figure out where I'm going to put the storage for it. Probably slide it in here. We just have to kind of move it up and out of the way. Because I kind of didn't really think that part all the way through, where I now have them down here and they're sort of just nowhere to put the storage. So I think maybe I'll loop them back around this side. I'm going to always put it over here, and then we'll just keep it up running along the ceiling here, because I want to keep this little spot open here. I want to keep this we're able to run through. Kind of have a little bit of an, ooh, you know what? This factory looks pretty cool. I'm really liking how this came together. I think the only thing I might change is kind of how these support pillars are made, because they look a little small in comparison to, you know, what they're actually holding up. But man, this is kind of a pretty cool looking factory. Definitely a much different steel factory vibe than I've ever done before, especially with the motor factory stacked on top. So basically this one factory makes motors, steel beams, steel pipes, and encased industrial beams. A pretty good mix. Okay, I think that technically is going to bring us to the end of the episode. Just to give you guys a little update here in the end. I now have the encased industrial beams coming from here. This is my overflow system, so you got my smart splitter here on the end. We're not at the overflow point yet, but any overflow will come down this into this awesome sink here, which I just so happen to have some space right here and not have it clip through the ceiling, which is perfect. And then I got this belt right here. Oh god. Which this is going to be the pipes and the beams together. Once they're back, nothing's backed up in the system yet, so nothing's kind of going into the awesome sink yet. But that's all set up now. And if I really wanted to save an entire, like, if I wanted to save another awesome sink, I could technically bring the motors from up here, because they're flowing into an awesome sink up here, and it's only, what is it, 10 per minute I'm making. So we could also just kind of drop that down below and mix it into the system if we want. I probably will do that at some point, just to kind of alleviate, you know, that's, I mean, 30 megawatts is 30 megawatts, right? So I figure might as well do it. Holy crap, I've got 91 coupons to use. That's a lot of coupons to spend. So I appreciate you guys being here for another episode. We'll take encased beams off our to-do list. Maybe a little bit of a shorter one, but I really just wanted to get this steel overhaul done and out of the way. It doesn't affect my power by too much. Let's take find a little power pole we got. I wish you could check the power off of the wall outlets, but it doesn't let you. So I gotta find a power pole here somewhere. There's gotta be one around here somewhere. There we go, I found one. Okay, so yeah, we're still doing pretty okay on power. Our capacity is a little over 14,000. Our max consumption is about 12.5, which, you know, it's pretty high, but that also includes technically like some of the machines. I'm not even, like, one of my manufacturers has the boost in it, so it's like registering as 1,000 megawatts just for that one machine. So I think from here we've got a radio control unit crystal oscillator build. Not going to be too crazy, but that'll automate the radio control units that we need for actually putting down all of our blenders, which means in about another episode or two, we can finally start on our first super project, which is going to be that turbo fuel, rocket fuel combination, where I'm going to have to build some train lines. I've already kind of started building. Actually, we'll jump over here just as the episode's going to end. I'll show you. I've kind of already started filling out the platform just in between episodes, because I'm basically just loading my inventory up full of concrete. I go over, I place down some platforms, and then I just go back to whatever I was doing just to kind of get it moving. We're going to be placing hundreds of thousands of concrete for that build over there, so I'll show you guys just in a second. But that, yeah, if you don't want to worry about checking it out, you guys can head on out, and I appreciate you guys watching another video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Everything should be balanced. I'll double check in here at the end of the video if it's not. I think the only thing I'm probably backed up on here. Why is this not working? So, fun fact, I forgot to even hook up this entire line. So this entire line wasn't feeding anything. That's why it was all backed up. So, you know, mistakes were definitely made there. Hopefully that doesn't affect my motor production, and it really affected my motor production. Oh, man. But that'll balance itself back out. That's okay. Just little mistakes happen like that from time to time. But yeah, thanks again for hanging out, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Here's the little bonus if you were waiting to watch until the end. This is how much concrete I've placed for this structure so far. Quite a bit, and I've still got a whole lot more to go because we've got hundreds and hundreds of machines to place for this build. So this one's going to be a big one. I'm going to have to do a whole lot of overclocking to actually save my computer, and hopefully it'll actually even survive this. But yeah, thanks guys. I'll see you in the next one.